Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, we just got done with All American Homecoming Season 1, Episode 12, called Confessions. Guys, what a great episode of All American Homecoming. We had a lot going on in this episode, especially leading into Homecoming weekend. Like, there was, like, a big way of, like, holy crap, we only have one more episode left, which is episode 13, which is next week. So next week is going to be the finale for All American Homecoming, but also the finale for All American.
And I will be in the All American.
She will be in the All American review since it will be the last episode. On top of, she will be, of course, in the Homecoming review, and we're planning on doing back-to-back filming that day. So we'll have All American, we'll have All American Homecoming out on the same day, which will be next Monday.
But very late.
It will be very late. So what my plan is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filming All American. I'm not going to edit everything until after I'm done even watching and reviewing All American Homecoming. So we're just going to watch All American, do the video, go downstairs, watch All American Homecoming, do the video, and then I'm going to stay up late, edit all those videos, and get them up for you guys as kind of like a, as a present to you guys to get everything out on one night for the finale, so you guys don't have to wait for All American Homecoming on Wednesday. It will be out on Monday, same as when I do usually my All American reviews. So it's kind of like as a treat for you guys that I get both of those up on that night for the finale, so you guys have something to watch and you guys can do back-to-back filming. That's what I really want to do for you guys, for all the support that I've been getting here on the channel.
And we don't want you to wait until Wednesday.
Especially since it's the finale, so I want to get it up for you guys as soon as possible. It'll be late, those videos go up, but they will be up that night. So I'm happy about that. But Annie, I'm going to let you take away about what you liked about this episode, because we have a lot of crazy shit going on in this episode, whether it be ups and downs with Simone and ups and downs with either Damon and Thea, because this is a continuation of them actually like dating. Like, they're officially like an item now. They're going by the terms of that they're dating now. They're boyfriend and girlfriend, and there was a lot going on with that. But what did you like about that certain topic? If you want to talk about that, or if you want to talk about something else, but what did you like?
I like how I don't know. I liked a lot.
Like, did you like that Simone actually got to meet, what's her name? Damon's mother. It's I forget what it was. It was what was it? Because I have it right here. I don't know why I took down IMDb, because I do forget people's names a lot in the show, and I'm gonna pop it up right here because I think her name was I have it on the tip of my tongue, literally. I can't remember. It's Keena Sims. Well, and Simone, not Simone, jeez. Thea finally got to meet Keena.
Yeah, Damon and Thea were walking, I think, towards like her dorm.
Well, he was getting ready to because this was right after the pep rally for homecoming weekend, and he was getting ready. I guess they just got off their official first date, which that was the competition. If I beat you in the ice bath, I get to take you actually on the date. They just got back from that. And, he was about to kiss her goodnight, and then that's, of course, when, Damon's mother ended up coming there because she wanted to make, because he expected her to come for the homecoming weekend game, but not too early to the point before the homecoming weekend actually started. I guess it started in the fact that they're doing the pep rally, getting ready for the weekend of the homecoming game, and she wanted to, be there for, the parties and be there for, the drum lines and stuff, because there was, of course, a drum line competition that we saw going on, I think, between the two schools, at least.
And, I can't remember the name of this.
I forget the other team that they're going to be going against.
I think Hawkins is the school that the old coach works at.
I believe so. So that was very cool.
Because if we've seen in past episodes, he has an H on his hat.
Yeah, so I think,
So I think that's the school he works for.
Yeah, which I think, if I'm correct, is also the team of which that one kid that got kicked because Damon came in. I think he's on that team as well. So that's going to be interesting seeing them both go against each other again, if that's the same team that we're going to be going up against. So that's going to be cool, because we know that dude's a really good, pitcher, same as Damon's a good pitcher.
I don't think Branson shouldn't play at that school, because that coach was putting stuff in Marcus's head, and that's why he quit taking his medication.
Yeah, but going on, I can't wait to get to that, because that's a big plot line in the story. I'll let you talk about that, but I want to keep going with Thea and Damon, how
Yeah, so she's like, I've heard. So when she met his mom, she said, I heard a lot about you, and she's like, I wish I could say the same about you, and then Thea had to look on her face like, why hasn't he talked about me?
Exactly, because as we all know, and my main worry about Thea and Damon getting together, because I do think they match a lot more than Simone and Damon. Also, I think that, Simone really kind of, had her chance and stuff, and I feel like time does pass and stuff, and Damon found someone that actually, that can be with him, and that wants to be with him, you know what I mean? Isn't making stuff that's difficult, so I was like, okay. She
makes time to be with him.
And I just feel like they match more than Simone and Damon, so I was like, okay, and I knew this was going to happen because my main worry is I don't want Damon just dating Thea just because he couldn't be with Simone. And it's kind of like that's what the assumption is in this episode, is that Thea's realizing how come you haven't talked to your mother about me? And then Damon's mother said, how is JR, Simone, and I forget who else, JR, Simone, and someone else. She asked about how's JR, Simone, and
was it Keisha?
And Keisha, maybe. And he's not wanting to speak about it. And mind you, Thea's hearing all this, I think, about I want to know how is JR and all them. And it's kind of putting her on the fact of he hasn't talked to his mother about me. And I kind of felt bad for Thea in this episode. And a lot of bad things, not only that, but their relationship kind of having a rocky start. She kind of interrupted, Damon giving Thea a kiss goodnight, and then finding out, you don't talk to your mother about me, and also finding out the fact of, in this episode, hearing Simone and Damon talk about, if we got our time right, don't you wonder how it would have been? And then her getting ready to have that match with that girl that, sabotaged Thea and cut all of her, strings to her tennis racket.
And she had a little mini panic attack.
Which was sad. It's it's astounding to me that people can do that shit in competitions and, they don't get kicked out. I don't... Does that actually happen? Do people do shit like that and they don't get kicked out? I just don't buy that.
And then when Thea won her match, she was like, I don't know how you are able to use this racket. It's heavy as hell.
Yeah, pretty much going back to her mean self. And I was like, oh no, because I told Annie, I'm like, she just overheard that. And she already has a lot going, she's already upset about a lot of things. Her getting sabotaged by that girl that always says, oh, you can never beat me. On top of, Damon kind of her feeling like Damon only is choosing her as a
holder.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm gonna date you. You're gonna date me now because you couldn't get with Simone. So it's kind of she's going through all this stuff, and the fact of I knew she was gonna be either I thought she was after she heard their conversation, I thought she was gonna forfeit the match, not want to play, or lose the match and be mad at Simone and not want to talk to Damon anymore and go back to her the attitude that she had when she initially met Simone, how she just didn't like Simone. But it seems to be she's forgiving Damon, but the fact of it is that Damon's I'm sorry, I didn't tell you about, my father, and tell you about my family, and tell you about all the stuff that's really been going on. Damon didn't tell Thea about, his father having, Alzheimer's. Didn't tell, I think, the fact of, did he tell her about, about, it's, JR, yeah, he told her about, that, his biological mother is JR's mother. And I don't think, did he tell her, though, about, that the fact of his biological father is actually his adoptive father? Did he tell her that?
Yeah, but she's
But he didn't tell her about the fact that his father has Alzheimer's and all that stuff.
And there's, that's why there's no adoption, because he didn't have to adopt Damon because it's actually his son.
Which was...
He didn't have... So there is no adoption of Damon.
There's no paperwork. There's nothing, no documents, no nothing.
So I'm trying to figure out then how is Damon's mom his mom if there was never an adoption? Well,
there was no documents, meaning that it was just a thing that they did. They didn't do any paperwork. They didn't do anything. He said that what's Damon's father's name again? Xavier. What he did was that they had the affair when Akina and Xavier were newlyweds. He had the affair, had the kid with JR's mother, and then next thing you know, I guess there came to a point where she, I guess, didn't want to. I think she was dating. Was she dating or married to JR's father at the time?
I don't know.
I don't know if they both cheated on their.
Wait, I know, yeah, because JR's dad said he didn't want
exactly
to raise a kid that wasn't his.
So I can't remember if
But when they said, like...
So they had to have been married, right? For that to happen, right? Yeah.
So the reason why Damon got put up for adoption is because JR was very sick as a kid.
Yeah, and then they wanted
and they didn't want to have to, like, put all their focus on the JR and not have any focus on Damon.
Yeah, they wanted to put all their focus, on JR and not focus up on Damon, especially he didn't want to focus on a kid that wasn't his. Hence the fact of, like, how, like, they wanted to adopt a kid, Keena and Xavier, and he thought, okay, I'm gonna adopt my actual biological son, but Keena's not gonna know that I cheated on her when we were newlyweds. So it's kind of like that moment where, like, Damon does tell Keena. That was very sad. I felt very bad because she said, "No way, your father was loyal to me. We were newlyweds."
Yeah, she's like, he's very loyal. He wouldn't cheat.
Yeah, and she said that, he said he would deal with the documents. He's like, yeah, he didn't have to deal with the documents, Mom, because I am his biological son.
I didn't have to
He just said that to you, and that was very tough.
I didn't have to adopt his biological son.
And mind you, Keena and also Damon can't yell at Xavier because he does have Alzheimer's, so he wouldn't even probably know what they were talking about, and it would stress him out, and he could get sent back in the hospital for, him, having an attack again. So it's kind of like that's the initial struggle that Damon has right now because he can't yell at his father.
Because when Damon went to Chicago, his dad did have, like, a little bit of an attack because Damon got him mad or whatever, and...
So it's kind of like he's going through that struggle. Damon, like, I can't yell at my father for his mess ups. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, he can't be, like, held responsible for what he did. One not letting my biological mother be involved in my life, but also the fact of that you lied and also cheated on your wife about, that you are actually, that you have a biological son which you adopted, that you claimed that you adopted, but really it was your son that you really didn't have to adopt, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like, it's like he's not held responsible because they can't do much because he probably won't even remember. So that's the struggle that he goes through in this episode, is that the fact of, and also Keena, that the fact that they can't confront him about that because he might not even remember. So it's kind of like, I love the thing when, Simone and Damon do talk, and Simone's like, at least, like, hold on to that. Your father must have done it for a reason, so hold on to the fact that he loves you. Just hold on to that. And it was really good to hear that, because he did love you. He must have did it for a reason. And you never probably are going to get those answers because he probably won't remember. So just hold on to the fact that he loved you and he must have did it for a reason. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, I don't know, with Thea and Damon, man.
That's just the whole
especially when she's gonna hold, when he said, I promise I won't lie to you anymore. Do you have anything you want to tell me?
And she had a flashback of when Nate told Thea that Jordan and Simone broke up. But I kind of think that's a good idea, because that might, like, change things for Damon and Simone.
Well, that might change things for Damon, that he'll know. But the thing I hate, though, is that I said this to Annie. I'm like, remind me about this. I'm like, this is some shitty writing. If Damon didn't realize after that one girl that he overheard after their meet, when, that one girl was congratulating Simone on making it to, like, I guess the finals to get into the top 6, saying, say hi to Jordan for me, and she runs out of the room crying. It's like Damon didn't pick up on the fact that she broke up with Jordan. I'm like, and I was like, this is a college, right? That rumor would have spread. You can't keep secrets in college. That would have spread like wildfire. Like, I was like, I don't buy that. He didn't know
that Simone and Jordan broke up.
I can't imagine JR doesn't know. I can't imagine that Keisha Keisha wasn't there, but I can't imagine that Nate would have not slipped up. Like, are you kidding me? It's like, nah, bro. I don't.
One that knows.
And I don't buy that. It's like Damon should have knew by him getting hugged, and after that, overhearing that girl saying, say hi to Jordan for me, and her running in her room crying, should have been a sign of, oh my God, they broke up. I think that is crappy writing on their standpoint, that it's going to be this thing that, she's going to keep the secret from Damon. That secret will come out probably through Simone telling Damon that they broke up, and then she'll find out I don't know, or maybe Nate will say to say to Damon, oh yeah, they broke up, and he'll be like, I didn't know, like, Thea didn't tell you or something. It'll be I don't want there to be drama like that, and I feel like that's what will happen in next season. Like, it will get out. I feel like that won't get out, that they broke up, probably until next season. Or maybe it'll be like the cliffhanger where he does find out, and it'll be like, he'll find out from her, like, maybe she'll feel guilty not telling him, and then he'll feel like, wow, so you think that if you would have told me that I would have left you. So that's already a problem in our relationship. I hope that's not that's not what's going to happen.
Nate would have slipped up. I don't think he would have.
But I hope that, that's what they're trying to set up here, is that they're trying to set up, like, oh, like, Thea's going to either feel guilty, tell Damon they actually did break up. There's a secret I wanted to tell you, or something that I know, and I feel guilty about it. It's the fact that Jordan and Simone broke up. And he'll think that, oh, you really think that is that the reason why you didn't want to tell me? Because you were jealous of the fact, or you were concerned the fact that I might leave you for Simone? It's like, don't you trust me? And I feel like that might break up their relationship. They're going to have a fight or some shit. I don't want that happening, because Damon should already know from that past event of her running to her room that they broke up. He should just know that. It's after hearing that, how could no one not know that that's what's going on, and that's why she's running into her room crying? It's like Damon's not dumb like that, and it's kind of like I feel like the writers are making him that dumb that he wouldn't pick up on that. Like, come on, guys. Anybody that's probably watching this would pick up if you heard someone, like, if you heard someone say, like, I heard someone having a conversation with someone. They said, say hi to your boyfriend for me, and they run to their room crying. That's common sense. I'll be like, oh my god, like, did they break up? Especially because he was eavesdropping, clearly. I don't know. It just annoys me that it's like the writers are kind of trying to make it like, oh, she's hiding the secret, but it's like, it's bound to come out that they did break up. Like, especially, I think it should have came out already, and he should already know. But I feel like I don't buy that it wouldn't have come out yet. It's college. Like, rumors spread in college, same as a rumor spread in high school, in school in general. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
I'm talking about Marcus now, but like...
Yeah, you could talk about Marcus and what Mans was going through in this episode, because I feel bad.
He was in a
all over the place.
Spiral.
Yeah, and it's because he's not taking the medication because that stupid coach got in his head.
He fired both of his assistant coaches.
Because he was thought that they were, talking about him to Ralph, which, man, I thought Ralph was going to get his ass beat in that scene. I thought he was going to get his ass beat multiple times in these past couple of episodes we've been getting with Marcus.
At the I guess, pep rally, whatever, they had, like, food and stuff.
Yeah, they had their food banquet up part of the pep rally, yeah.
And, Marcus is like, can I have the microphone? And he was telling everybody that he cheated.
Yeah, like, he's the one that also, actually, he didn't say that he cheated. He said that, like, he knew about the scandal, and like he finally got like the person to come out about it. Like, he's the one that released the scandal, and then the moment where like he's like, he says to Ruff, "Are you happy that I released this information now that you've been digging into?" And he's like, "I'm not a bad dude, I promise." He's like, he's like, and
then Damon,
he was just sad at that moment. Like, he needs his medicine.
Damon tried to calm down. I'm trying to talk here, Sims. And then JR came up and they both like calmed down, and then he said to Ralph, "Are you happy?" And they tried to fight him, and then JR and Dame are like holding him back.
And what's really sad about that is because like he was going out, and because Ralph was looking into the fact of like, okay, the scandal came out. How did you not know? Because you were the coach. How did you not know when your players was doing this stuff or something? Or like he said something like that, or like somebody that you worked with, like, how did you not know that he was doing any of this crap? It was really, I think he was the coach, yeah, because he was the coach right when he came back, I think, after being in the major leagues or about to go to the major leagues. He didn't go because of everything that happened. So he was a coach or whatever, and I guess one of his students, I guess he supplied to him with stuff, I think, or whatever, performance-enhancing drugs, or like he was looking into that or whatever. Like, how'd you not know that one of your students was not taking all this stuff or whatever, unless you were just supplying him it? So then he's like, "Oh, I think you're just doing all this. You wanted that person to come out and say all that stuff so you could, stay with Amara and you could, pretend to be this, this great guy." And that's when he came out saying, "I did, release this scandal. I told the person to come out or whatever." And pretty much he wasn't like admitting to the fact that he did take stuff, and that's why he is taking his medication, because that affected him by taking all that stuff.
It's like Marcus isn't a bad guy.
No, he's not. He just he's made some mistakes. I feel
bad for him,
especially because athletes do get put under pressure, which is no excuse that some athletes do this, but they get put under the pressure where they feel like they have to do this, and him taking that stuff is what made him have to take his medication. But he's no longer taking it because of that coach, and like he's spiraling now because he's not taking it. So I was very sad for him when he kind of didn't, like, technically he told the truth of the fact that he knew about this thing, and finally he had to let it get out. And you know what I mean? But what really made me pissed is when they were trying to look for Marcus and was trying to get all the team together, JR and Damon. And Santiago's dumbass is like, oh, I can't trust the dude that, knew about this. That I don't trust. That, knew about this scandal and didn't say anything throughout these years.
And then half the team left.
Which is bullshit because, mind you, they're getting ready to play a homecoming game to beat this team that they have to beat so they can keep their baseball, so they can keep their baseball program alive. Because remember, that was the deal. They have to win the homecoming game to keep their program alive. They have to really show that the team is, bringing in the viewership, bringing in the sponsors, bringing in the wins, so they can keep their thing alive. And if they can't work together as a team, all because Santiago's dumbass had to say some stupid shit and everybody else followed him out the door.
Not everybody, most people.
Majority of everybody. It's kind of like you alone by doing that stupid shit is what's gonna split the team apart, and which is gonna make the program go bye-bye. So Santiago wasn't really thinking straight in that moment. I never really liked that character. He somewhat annoys me, and I don't know what it is, but that character just annoys the shit out of me.
I don't like him either.
I just don't like that character. It's just, like, why would you think that was a good idea? Especially, like, okay, I understand he lied, but it showed integrity that he even came out about it and stuff. Like, Damon and JR were right. It shows integrity that he even came out about it now.
And a bitch about it.
And they were just being rude. Especially, like, he needs help and you're not going to help find him? What if he hurt himself? That'd be on you for not looking.
He called Amara and left her a voicemail and said, Amara, don't come look for me. Don't worry about me. I'm saying goodbye. And
I was worried because I told Andy when the family text message came out saying the family meeting, I thought for sure it was going to be about the fact that, like, cause everybody starts coming in, like, Amara says to JR and says to Damon that I can't get a hold. I tried calling Marcus, I can't get a hold of him. I tried texting him, I can't get a hold of him, and then informing everybody about the information, which I'll let you talk about.
You can.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, the information is the fact of Amara saved the school from Zeke, working with Veronica, which is the younger sister, JD's younger sister, trying to get revenge on Amara, and pretty much saved the school from being, merging together with that majority white school that will pretty much, Ruin Bringston.
Because Bringston's a black excellence.
Exactly. Yeah. That literally. Yeah. So that alone will ruin what Bringston is, and it will no longer be Bringston. And Amara confronts Zeke about it, and pretty much, gets in, convinces Zeke that that's not a good idea. And then Zeke's like, okay, we're not going to do it anymore, but we need to raise money. Because that's the only way I could have saved the school is merging the schools. That's the only way for me to make money. The alums aren't, what I mean? Like, we're not getting enough money in, so that's the only way to save the school. This BCU. BCU school. Like, this is the only way, because this is usually the fall of BCU schools is when, we don't have money coming in. That's the fall usually, is the fall of schools usually. So he thought this was a way of saving the school, and doing this merger wouldn't have been so bad, but it would affect what Bringston is. And I do love the moment where, like, he says, okay, you did save the school, but we need to raise money now. And they thought, when Amara confronted the alums saying, like, who here exactly is the ones donating the money for the school? And only 3 people raised their hands, and she's like, okay, but you guys will show up for, like, when we have parties and food and stuff, but you guys won't put in the money in. And that's why Zeke was, put in that place of, like, he thought that the only place, or thought was put in that position where, like, that was the only way to save the school, by merging the schools, because you guys aren't putting the money in to, so that he wouldn't have been in that position to even get put in a position so these schools would merge, and we would lose Bringston for what Bringston stands for. So I just love the moment when they all pitch in the $4 million, but that's not enough, and we end up finding out that they have to make enough money before the end of homecoming weekend, or the school is being sold. And that's what Amara wanted to fill in the kids, is that the school's going to be sold unless we can make money by this homecoming weekend.
Tisha, Simone.
Yeah.
JR.
And it was
Damon.
Thea. She was there.
And Thea. Yeah.
About that. If we don't make the money this homecoming weekend, school's being sold. And it looks like they're going to have a big, like, fundraiser in the finale next week, along with the homecoming game.
Why didn't Cam come? Cam's part of the family.
I don't know. Great question, because Keisha was there, but Cam wasn't. I don't know why Cam wasn't. I didn't see him.
Cam's part of the family, though.
mean, I don't know. Great question, Annie. Because I didn't notice that for a second, because I was so.
I'm so happy Cam and Keisha are together now.
Yeah, that was another part of the episode I really did enjoy. Is that Keisha, you know, that's why she wasn't there in last week's previous episode. She was working on herself.
She wrote like a letter to herself.
To her future self.
Yeah, to her future self. She's like, "Hey, girl, it's past Keisha." All that other stuff, and then she's like, "One of the people that I want to like talk to is Cam.
One of the people that I want to, like, you know,
have something with is Cam.
And she's like, you know, she's like, the one thing, I love who we're turning into, because we do deserve love, and we do deserve to receive and give love and all that stuff." And I just thought that was really beautiful, and the fact that, like, that's what Cam needed to hear, because when he first, like, when Keisha first wanted to talk to Cam, and Keisha said, like, you know, like, was getting ready to, I forget, I think she told, like, Cam, like, I'm ready or whatever. He didn't believe her. He said, "Oh, I think we should just stay friends." Until when she's like gave that emotional letter that really shows that like she's going all out, saying that she's going all in, meaning that I'm ready for this relationship. I want to be with you, and that was just enough to make Cam be like, okay, I believe you now. It was because he was afraid to put his heart on the line, because he felt like, okay, like, I don't want this to just be a thing, and then, you know, I get hurt again. But this is her showing that she's really ready by her giving that speech. I just, you know what I mean, it was extra, like, push, you know what I mean, that showed that she really is in for this relationship. But I did understand why Cam said no at first, because he didn't want to get hurt. He didn't want to say, he didn't want her saying that, "Oh, I'm ready," and her not be ready. But this was just enough proof that really shows that she loves him and wants to make it work with him. Yeah. I really did love that. But I can't remember if there was anything else that happened in this episode. I think we hit all the bullet points.
Yeah, we got the majority of everything.
Besides the fact that, like, Thea is so pissed at Simone in the next episode, saying that ever since you got in here, you tried to take my spot. And also, like, you know, it seems like she's just angry about that.
We've been kind of brief since day one, but we'll talk about that next week.
So I'm excited for that. And I do think this will make a problem for Thea and Simone's friendship, only in the fact that Simone and Damon had that conversation and Thea overheard it. And I think she kind of forgives Damon, but she's going to hold that information of, like, oh, that Simone and Jordan broke up, just to keep, because she's afraid if she finds that out, then maybe Damon will leave her for Simone, even though I don't think that's the case. I think also, but she'll keep stay away from Simone, because she doesn't trust Simone now. The fact of, like, okay, you tried coming from my spot, now what, you're trying to come for my boyfriend now? I think there will be a problem there where, like, I don't see them being friends for quite some time, it seems like. Because she really was, like, angry at Simone at the end of her match. And I think there will be them, like, she'll be like, "Oh, why did you say that to me?" Or, "Oh, why, like, what's with all this attitude now?" And she'll say, like, "I want you to stay away from my boyfriend," and stuff. I feel like there'll be a thing like that. And there will be a split between Thea and Simone. They will no longer be friends for a while. I do think that. I don't think this will be something easily solved. Even though I understand I understand where Thea's coming from, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know why she would, I don't know. I mean, I understand because she doesn't want to lose Damon, because she, like, you know what I mean, because they have so much in common, and she doesn't want to lose Damon to Simone, because she already feels like she almost lost tennis to Simone by her coming in here and doing that. I just don't want Thea to mess up Simone, the friendship she has with Simone, all because of Damon. When I do think she needs to trust in the fact that Damon will not leave her for Simone, because they just, like Simone said, we're friends. And I hope we could just be friends with no drama or no weird, awkward things. We could just be friends. Mm-hmm. And I want it to be at that. I don't want the writers to keep going and make it like, oh, who will Damon be with? Thea or Simone? I don't want it to be like that. I just want Damon to be with Simone. No, Thea, Jesus. And I want, maybe Simone, like Annie said, could be with JR. She thinks that there could be a thing there, especially because JR did come to see Simone. Didn't really come to go see Thea. So, yeah, you never know. Relationships could just spark out of nowhere. So you never know that JR and Simone could get together. Or hell, Simone doesn't really have to be with anybody. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, our characters don't always have to be with somebody. So it'd be interesting to see Simone focus up on tennis and just focus on having friends and maybe just not have a love interest for a while. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they fit in next week's episode, because it looks like we're getting a lot of shit. Between them trying to fundraise, the homecoming game, drama between Thea and Simone, and then them trying to find Marcus. Because she said, after getting that voicemail from Marcus saying like, oh, I think we have to find Marcus. I think he's gonna do something and try to hurt himself, and that's what I was worried about. I thought when she said I couldn't get a hold of them, I thought he got hurt and was in the hospital. At least that's what like initially came to mind when the emergency thing came out.
I thought he was dead.
I thought he like died, and that's what the thing was about. The meeting. I thought either he was in the hospital. I thought something bad happened to him, but it turns out that he's gonna be doing something bad to himself. That Amara's a little worried. And I'm a little worried myself because he's not well. He needs to take his medication. It's sad to see Marcus like this, all because of that stupid coach saying shit that's what got in his head and made him not want to take his medication. So I don't know. I'm curious to know down in the comments below what you guys thought about this episode, because I really did enjoy this episode. It was very good and entertaining, and I feel like we have a lot of things rolling for next week's episode. And I already got confirmed for season 2. I think that was like a couple of weeks ago. It got confirmed for season 2, or it just got confirmed.
I don't care if you just get confirmed for another season. I'm so upset.
What? About what got? Oh, because Legacies got canceled?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still upset about that. For anybody here that does watch Legacies. But, guys, literally, I'm excited to hear what you guys thought about this episode. I'm excited to hear what your theories are for the next episode. Also, your theories beyond maybe in the next season. How do you guys think the next episode will end? I'm curious to know. Also, again, here, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video. We'd love to have you guys here, a part of the fam, a part of the channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And guys, yet again, we are almost to 600 subscribers. Right now, we're at 514, almost to 600. My goal is to get to 600 before the end of June. My initial goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year. And I know we can do it because this channel is growing each and every day. And literally, guys, my initial goal when I started this channel is to show everybody that you can follow your dreams, anything is possible. And my goal that I'm setting for myself is that I want to make this channel one of the biggest channels on YouTube and show that you can follow your dreams. That's why I made this channel, also to spread, my love and my love for like movies and shows and just my motivation for striving for my goal. And I'm hoping that
time with me,
yeah, exactly, just to make this a fun space where we talk about what we love and just have a fun time. And
to have brother sister time too.
Exactly. So I'm thrilled, guys, on what this channel's been able to accomplish. I just can't believe that we did hit. We're way past like just 500. We're at 514. Like it's growing each and every day, and I'm just excited for the next goal that I'm setting for myself is 600, and by the end of this year, 1,000. That's what I want to do. So again, if you're new here, help me out with my goal, guys. I would really appreciate it. Again, if you subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video, because it all helps with the YouTube algorithm. When you guys like the video, it shows the YouTube algorithm that you guys like the video, and it pushes my videos out there. And also, when you guys subscribe to the channel and put on those notifications, it all helps with the YouTube algorithm on helping more people come want to join this fam. So if you guys haven't before liked the videos, please like the videos. And please also, again, if you come back to watch videos occasionally, you might as well just subscribe and and have the notifications on, so when I do post a video, so you're always updated. And we have a lot of stuff coming out, besides the finale for Homecoming next week and the finale for All American.
We have
Umbrella Academy, which we will be binging and will be up on the channel. Along with the 27th of May, we have part 1 of Stranger Things season 4, which I will be binging and putting up my part 1 spoiler review for Stranger Things season 4.
When's that?
And May 27th. Also, the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan are dropping on the 27th as well. And I will be putting up my spoiler review, probably like talking about both of these episodes. Maybe I'll do like a 1 spoiler review talking about both of the episodes in 1 video, or I'll do like 2 spoiler reviews to start off. I'm not quite sure yet, but it will be up that day as well.
Also, we are going to a concert in July. I kind of want to do a video on that, so maybe Zach will want to talk about it the next day, because I'm not going to work and he's not doing anything because we're very.
We are going to be we're going to be going to Big Time Rush if we haven't mentioned it here before. I might do a vlog, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are interested to see that.
And maybe
because it would be fun.
My friend's going. Maybe he'll want to put her on it. If she And my nieces will be there, so maybe they'll want to be on it too, or whatever.
But yeah, guys, that was the video. We hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and we'll see you guys next Monday for the finale of All American Homecoming and the finale of All American. Peace.